Press Center of the Tashkent Conference on Afghanistan hosted panel sessions on the importance of ensuring security and stability in Afghanistan and its inclusion in regional trade, economic, transport and energy processes, the role of Uzbekistan in the peaceful reconstruction of Afghanistan, and also participation in the construction of infrastructure projects on the territory of Afghanistan. Speakers noted that Afghanistan unquestionably historically, geographically and geopolitically a joint Central Asian region. Uzbekistan principally supports the establishment of stable Afghanistan solely through inter-ethnic dialogue. An important aspect of further cooperation between the two countries is Uzbekistan's consideration of the neighboring state not as a source of security threats, but as an equal partner with which it is planned to implement joint projects in economic, energy and transport logistics sectors in the near future.
Recent military actions in Afghanistan have been continuing for 16 years. Taking into account the previous wars, there is no peace in Afghanistan for 40 years. Of course, the whole world hopes to resolve this issue. Great efforts, large funds, billions are sent as technical assistance as a humanitarian program for armament for equipping. It seems to me that one of the main problems of the Afghan crisis is that there is an abundance of weapons and money, and a shortage in diplomacy and politics. It was correctly noted that Afghanistan is not only a problem, but huge strategic opportunity for Central Asia, including solution to the most important problems connected with transport, roads and trade. Tashkent Conference should be called upon to resolve this issue by the lack of diplomacy, of multi-line and political approaches in solving the Afghan problem.
Afghanistan has since been in the focus of attention of world community. Various initiatives were taken, and the Tashkent Conference is a logical continuation of Kabul process.
The Kabul process is, in my opinion, the most effective initiative of Afghan government. The first conference in its framework was held in January last year. The second time participants gathered in February this year. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev at UN General Assembly stressed that, firstly, the task of ensuring stability in Afghanistan is not only regional but also international. Second, in order to eliminate problems in Afghanistan, the central government and representatives of the main political forces should negotiate with each other without intermediaries. The Kabul process is aimed precisely at this. Tashkent Conference is a logical continuation of this process. We hope that the conditions created here will serve to establish stability in Afghanistan.
Attendees also focused their attention on economic issues. According to preliminary data of State Statistics Committee, trade turnover between Uzbekistan and Afghanistan for 2017 amounted to $617 million and increased by 18.7% compared to 2016. Afghanistan is one of the most important foreign trade partners of Uzbekistan. Its share in the foreign trade turnover is 2.3%. At the same time, export of Uzbek goods to the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan is much higher in the structure of mutual trade, almost $615 million.
Afghanistan plays an important role in Uzbekistan's foreign trade, ranking 5th among the partner countries for trade. Among the neighboring countries, Afghanistan ranks 2nd in terms of trade turnover. We set a number of goals and objectives for 2018. During the state visit of Ashraf Ghani in December last year, agreements worth $500 million were signed. Electricity and metallurgy occupies important place in trade. That's why we plan to conduct a full diversification of system, considering the potential of Uzbekistan. Afghanistan is a country where more than 34 million people live. This is a big market for us.
The opening of the Termez Cargo Export Center, organized on the basis of the International Logistics Center Termez Cargo Center, as well as the Uzbek trade houses in Kabul and Mazar-e-Sharif, were confirmation of parties' commitment to intensify trade and economic relations. Sides have already reached an agreement on increasing the trade turnover between the two countries to $1.5 billion. The key moment of establishing a new format of cooperation between the two states was the signing of a number of important bilateral documents, including a plan for the further development of full-scale cooperation between the countries in 2017. The Trade and Economic Roadmap, the protocol on the intentions for further development of interaction in transport infrastructure, and envisaged participation of Uzbek side in joint railway and road projects.
Relationships between entrepreneurs play an important role in establishing economic ties. Last year, during the visit of President Ashraf Ghani to Uzbekistan, a memorandum was signed between the two chambers of commerce and industry. The document provides for the development of comprehensive relations between the entrepreneurs. This year, a number of meetings, exhibitions, as well as a business forum will be held. To achieve the goal set, business councils will be established in both countries.
Speakers stressed that Uzbek railway workers have extensive experience in building high-mountain railways and are now successfully continuing to operate Hayraton-Mazari Sharif section, built by Uzbekistan in 2010 and brings about half of Afghanistan imports. Both countries are interested in continuing the construction of the railway along the route Mazari Sharif, Shebergan, Maimana, Herat. This in turn will give Uzbekistan the opportunity to exit to Iranian and Pakistani seaports through Afghanistan.
Our cooperation with the Afghan government began in 2009. Then they didn't have a railway management. Afghan Ministry of Public Affairs and Uzbekistan Temir Yollari signed a contract on the construction of the first railway in Hayraton, Mazari Sharif, which was financed by the Asian Bank. We completed this project 1 month ahead of schedule and put the road into operation in November 2010. Over this road, with a length of 75 kilometers, over 20 million tons of cargo have been transported over the past years, of which about 5.5 million are exported products of Uzbekistan.
At the end of the session, journalists asked the speakers their questions.
During the next session, scholars on Afghanistan told about the history of the origin of the Afghan people, its traditions and customs, and also the etymology of the word Afghan. Speakers noted that in the territory of modern Afghanistan there are various ethnic groups, in particular Pashtuns, Tajiks, Uzbeks. There are different versions of the origin of the word Afghan. It was first used in the writings of the 12th century. It was used for the name of the Pashtun tribe. After that, the Pashtuns began to be called Afghans. To date, about 30 different ethnic groups and nationalities live on the territory of Afghanistan. Among them, the most numerous are Pashtuns, Tajiks, and also Uzbeks. The scholars pointed out that Pashtuns make up about 42% of the population of Afghanistan, inhabiting primarily the west, southwest, south, southeast, and east of the country. Pashtuns are considered to be the most numerous people from Central Asia. To date, according to preliminary data, 42 million people of Pashtun origin live in the world. According to statistics, about 13 million people live in Afghanistan. The rest is in Pakistan, in various parts of India, in the west of Iran, in Tajikistan and other neighboring countries. Afghanistan has ties with all neighboring states, not only ethnic but also cultural ones. So the languages of Afghanistan are being studied in other countries. In our country. This in turn promotes a better understanding between neighboring peoples, the study of traditions, culture and strengthening of bilateral relations. In addition, during the session, the speakers discussed other issues on this topic, as well as answered questions from media representatives.